Bonito, hein? Uau! Bota texto aqui. E aí, mano? Cara, esse jogo eu nunca joguei, mas eu sempre achei muito bonita essa logo deles, cara. Olha que visual bacana essa logo com essa nave atrás combinando aí o formato. Muito legal, né? Você olha aí e você fala, meu, capricho, né, cara? Olha que capricho. Então, nunca joguei, nunca nada, cara. Eu só acho muito bonito. Sempre me atraiu essa capa dele, assim, sabe? Por causa da logo e tudo mais, ó. Vambora agora, ó. Vamos ver qual é. Vamos no normal, né? Meu Deus. Vamos do jeito que foi feito. Tamanho do texto? Eu não sei. Vou botar aqui. Eita. Quase ceguei agora. Meu, não tem nenhuma legendinha em português?
A trip of 10 short years will feel like mere minutes, thanks to the comfort and safety of your very own hibernation chamber. You'll wake up in a perfect society designed to maximize your productivity, with guaranteed full employment. With only a minor term of service, you will become the master of your own destiny.
Eu não quero apertar para não pular, mas quero ver as opções se... Deveria ter um portuguesinho aí, né? Ah, foi mal. É que foi culpa minha ali mesmo. Verdade mesmo. A gente segura as pontas nessa primeira, depois coloca.
Hundreds of thousands of colonists left adrift out here forever, just to keep from damaging the board's bottom line. Disgraceful.
Eita, tá na hora de arrumar o sujeito.
Rather anemic, but at least you'll fit in.
É, RPG, né? Percepção. Charme, temperamento. Pera aí, vamos lá. Eu queria colocar um em cada, mas... Fica muito... É que a gente acha que às vezes tem coisa que não precisa, e aí faz falta. Eu sofri isso no Disco Elysium. Bom, depois vai... O quanto você pode carregar. Acho que eu vou deixar tudo equilibrado, velho. Não equilibrado. Habilidades.
You could have been a goalie for a
tá.
tossball team.
Pera aí, deixa eu ver, pera aí. Armas brancas longo alcance. Diálogo, furtividade. Pô, só tem 2 pontos, velho. Pra espalhar aqui é fogo, hein? Acho que eu vou meter um furtividade. Não, também diálogo é importante, né? Acho que eu vou botar um longo alcance.
A crack shot. Capital.
E o diálogo. Putz, eu tô entre furtividade e diálogo.
You could probably talk
RPG,
your way
vamos
out of a
diálogo.
landing ticket.
É, então.
Safety inspector. Oh, they must have meant bribe collector.
Tá bonito o jogo, hein? É esse mesmo. Parece que vai e volta. Tem uns olhos bizarros. Tem uns olhos bizarros. Na sobrancelha tá bom, né? O olho tá bom. Vou ficar mexendo. Por mais que a gente queira fazer parecido às vezes, mas dá muito trabalho, cara. Tem que ser ilustrador pra conseguir fazer olhando. Caraca, esse aqui tá quase eu, só que eu tenho mais que ele. Vou acabar indo. Vamos pro carecão, velho. Pô, as entradas dele tá demais. O meu ainda tem ali no meio, ali mais pra frente, pô. Que isso, mas eu vou nele, hein? Vou nele. Vou nele. Vou meter um grisalhão. Cara. Se não tiver barba, eu vou ficar chateado se não tiver barba grande. E o cabelo dele tá comprido, meu cabelo é na máquina. Não, a sobrancelha, deixa a sobrancelha do cara aí, pô. Ah, tem as barbas. Ah, nem muito. Vai ser essa daqui, provavelmente. Ah, mano, os caras não investem em barba, investem no cabelo, mas não investem na barba. Aqui, pronto. Tá bom, velho. Maquiagem. É maquiagem mesmo, é pra valer a maquiagem, cara. Achei que era tipo, sei lá, coisas. É, tem tipo umas coisas assim. Esse aqui é só na fígado já era. Ah, dá pra fazer uns machucados. Aí é sim, tá vendo? Vou botar uns machucados. Aqui, pronto. Sujeira. Bom, já viu que o sujeito tá numa situação boa, hein? Vou botar uma sujeira também. Machucado de sujeira. Tem até hepatite. Não, sujeira não. Vou tirar a sujeira e vou botar cicatriz, então. Isso, bem do lado do machucado. Aqui, tá bom. Idade. Ô louco, mano. Esse envelheceu mal, hein, bicho? Que é isso? Já tá bom, já tá bom, já tá bom do original já. Ai, ai. Um do Mr. Hunger. Esse tá sofrido, é vida sofrida, cara. Pô, tem que. É RPG, né, cara? Ah, não é nada, é só um resumão. Beleza. Vamos que vamos.
Looks to be your lucky day, my friend.
Please power down your engines and prepare to be...
Not likely, bootlickers. Initiate skip jump.
Agora eu vou tentar colocar o bagulho lá. Eu não quero pular, então vamos entendendo assim mesmo.
Shit. Ah, there you are. Wondering what's going on, eh? Bit of bad news there, I'm afraid. Your colony ship was inexplicably knocked out of skip space and forced to complete its journey at sublight speeds. This means that you and every other colonist on the Hope have been in suspended animation for 70 years, give or take. Normally, reviving someone after so long leads to some quite horrifying results. It's called explosive cell death, but it's really more of a liquefaction. Something wrong? Oh, yes, well, not to worry. I've pumped your body full of a special concoction I devised to keep you from dying so horrifically. Hopefully at all, but I guess we'll see, yes? Unfortunately, I used the last of my chemical supplies saving you. I know it's a lot to ask, but I must have your help securing more if we're to save the rest of your fellow colonists. I'd see it done myself, of course, but the board has a sizable bounty on my head. Now, my ship is inoperative, but I've managed to hire a smuggler to help you out. He'll be... Oh, I see we're in position. Good luck!
Engraçado que ele não consegue fazer as coisas funcionar na hora.
Can you hear me? Is this thing working? Ah, there you are. Now, where were we? Oh, yes,
Where were
the
we?
smuggler. His name is Hawthorne, and he should be waiting for you at the landing site. He's to be your chauffeur, so to speak. Not to worry,
bonito, hein?
I'm told he's a specialist. Dashing gunslinger, one-of-a-kind ship, that sort of thing.
You'll like him, I'm sure. I've also outfitted you with a simple wireless monitor, so I can track your progress. I'll check in with you as soon as you land. Good luck. All the colonists are counting on you.
Esses jogos tinham que ser em português total. Chegou bem.
You've landed good. Hawthorne should be close by. What in law's name? Is that him? Oh, that idiot. I told him to plant the beacon and move away, not stand there holding it. Oh well, no sense in letting his ship go to waste.
Já era.
Hawthorne won't mind you taking his ship. Better you than the board, huh? Not sure I trusted the fellow. Might have gone after the bounty on my head. Shame about the whole squashing thing. Nasty way to go.
Ah, pula esquiva. Muito comédia. Já era o sujeito. Tá bonito, hein, cara. Ó. Tá muito bonito, velho. Muito bem. Lagarrato. Dá aquela pilhadinha, né? Ali, ó. Já viu. Eita, o bichão. Com mais luz, né? Eita, que houve?
You see now, you've been frozen for a while. There's bound to be unforeseen side effects.
Au. Nossa, é L1. Normalmente é pra cima, né?
Hey, you, come here. You've tried the best now. Now try the rest. Spacer's choice. Oh, law, that stings.
Olha, tá vendo?
were out on patrol, I saw a marauder camp up in the hills. Thought I could take them. Then my gun misfired, right through my side. I mean, what are the odds of that, right? Just barely scraped by with my life. Crawled in here and blocked off the exit with those canisters. Gibbering, flesh-eating, law-breaking, unemployed lunatics with guns. Some hullhead grounded their spacecraft out in the open. That's a real good way to attract marauders. See those canisters by the entrance? Marauders come sniffing around in here, and I can take them all out with a single shot. Not bad, huh?
Ou não vai dar mais pra ajudar ele? Eu tava só pegando informação.
Yeah, okay. You look like you know your way around a gun. Got some spare ammo, not counting the bullet in my side. All Spacer's Choice weapons are now 30% less likely to malfunction. You've tried the best, now try the rest. Spacer's Choice. Yes, nailed it that time. You hit your head or something? You're in Emerald Vale. We're a Spacer's Choice community. Edgewater's a little ways down. Prettiest place in the Vale. Be sure to stop by a provisioner's for a can of our famous salt tuna. The Hope? Is that some sort of fancy new drug? Are you with Auntie Cleo or something? Don't take this the wrong way or nothing, but I'm not allowed to fraternize with Cleo workers. Company policy.
Eu ia ajudar ele, né? Mas eu achei que ia ter mais opções de...
It's not the best choice, it's Spacer's Choice.
Nossa, ele anda com esse bração esticado.
Damn it, my ears! Oh, what just happened? Can you hear me? What in the hell? This...
Ah, tá. Ah, tá. É o bullet time, né? R1. Acho que foi boa, hein? Rapaz. Rolou um headshotzinho ali na sorte. Foi bonito, hein, mano? Mas não acho que vai ser sempre assim, tá? Precisa de mais dois. Precisa de mais um. Olha. Qual é o botão de troca de arma? Ai, caraca, apertei esse da vida. Não tem nada a ver ali um pra isso, né, cara? Tem um esquema para eliminar de perto. Vamos ver se tem um R3 aqui. Não tem. Ai, cara, apertei errado. Ah, não! Aí me ferrei. Calma. Eita. Me viu, é? Não tem botão para eliminar de perto. Descobri na marra. Olha, na visona. Não, para. Como é que troca a arma?
Hey! Get over here before you get yourself killed! Don't know where you came from, stranger, but you best keep your head down. There's marauders hereabouts, and worse, landing violators. Gall on that rung leech. Landing in the Vale without using an official Spacer's Choice landing pad. I'd slap him with a fine if it weren't for all these marauders shambling about. Really? How is he? Well, that's a relief. You don't want to know how much paperwork's involved in paying off a gravesite fee. We'll see him back to Edgewater, just as soon as I cross these marauders off with the swift, cost-efficient fury that's made Spacer's Choice the most trusted brand in personal defense. I just, you know, need a couple of winks to catch my breath. Stretch my legs, son. You think? Most marauders can't even talk. But criminals do attract other criminals by their own nature. You know what? You're right. It's time we cross those marauders off, find whoever owns that ship, and file a full report. Then it's gonna be fucking laminated.
Here we go.
Cadê os outros? O negócio é pilhar, não interessa o que.
This is gonna take a lot of paperwork.
Please be informed that this vessel contains no valuable plunder. Unauthorized access of spacefaring vessels. Please be informed that I am authorized to use violent retribution against unwanted solicitors. Please return any misappropriated equipment and exit this vessel in an orderly fashion. Failure to do so will result in your immediate destruction. I detect an elevated heart rate, indicating dishonesty. Please prepare yourself for lethal deterrence. Jettison procedures initiated. Disengaging airlocks. Preparing to reject all boarding parties in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You are still here. My deception protocols have failed. I have been programmed to express disappointment. This vessel is the registered property of Captain Alex Hawthorne. I am incapable of accepting orders from anyone other than Captain Alex Hawthorne. I deduce from the tone of your voice that Captain Hawthorne failed to meet you at the designated location. I understand. I will require some time to process this information. Thank you for your patience and for your honesty. I am programmed to take orders exclusively from Captain Hawthorne. If I accept your orders, then you must be Captain Hawthorne. Do you understand? Well done, Captain Hawthorne. I see your powers of deductive reasoning remain intact. Unfortunately, our engine is currently inoperable. Our main drive suffered a critical power failure, and we were forced to make an emergency landing. The main drive's power regulator has been irreparably damaged and must be replaced. Astutely observed. However, the probability of locating a power regulator within a worker settlement falls within acceptable parameters of certainty. High-capacity power regulators are sometimes employed in the electrical networks of worker settlements. I have taken the liberty of printing you a new captain's identity cartridge. Please try not to lose it this time. This cartridge identifies you, Alex Hawthorne,
Verdade.
as the registered proprietor and captain of the Unreliable. Do you understand? Thank you. I appreciate your cooperation. Best of luck in your search for a power regulator. Try to stay alive this time.
Procure ficar vivo dessa vez, né? Porque da outra vez ele morreu.
The navigation console is offline at this time, Captain.
Meu tiozão tá grisalhaço, ó. Mano, segurei rapidão que eu já venho. Só vou pegar um negócio aqui, pera só um pouquinho. Vou pausar aqui, tá?
Estudei.
Vamos lá, vem então, pontos 10. Talentos. Ponto de talento a cada 2 níveis. Bastante já. Esse aqui que eu queria ver como equipar, porque tava pra lá, 73. Dá pra se desfazer de outras, né? Ó, já tem um melhorzinho, ó, armadura 4. Leve, habilidade de tecnologia, habilidade 5. Manas brancas, manas brancas. Eu gosto de tecnologia. Acho que eu vou dar uma segurada. Enquanto isso eu vou desmontar um desses. Esse daqui eu vou deixar por enquanto. Esse daqui também. Deixa eu só ver uma coisa antes do talento. Vai ser bom. Pô, não deixa. Ah, aplicar. Vou dar uma andada aqui rapidinho.
If your equipment is in need of repair or modification,
Muito no começo ainda.
Want to be a brand new you? Try out our
Ah, não. Então.
specification machine. Alex installed it himself, right before he died. The ship's engines cannot be powered until a replacement regulator has been properly installed.
Au. Armários. Não dá.
I suppose everything on the Unreliable belongs to you now, Captain. Help yourself. No, really.
Say, this wouldn't happen to be your ship, would it?
Eu vou tomar uma
You
multa
sure
lá.
walked in it like it was your ship. And if this ship is yours, well, mister, you owe Spacer's Choice a hefty fine. Afraid we gotta dock your pay. Oh, by the law. I'm so sorry. I had no idea we had an inspector coming. If you'd like to speak with my manager, I report to Constable Reyes in Edgewater. Edgewater's not too far. Just follow the road east of here, over past the cemetery. Now, if you'll excuse me, I need to inspect the crime scene before I make my report.
Demorou, né? Só na lábia, malandro. Ah, eu tô indo pelo estilinho do jogo, né, cara? Esse jogo pede, né, essa coisa. Eu, eu, eu não me liguei ainda como é que troca de arma, pera aí. Ah, o triângulo. Tem um vândalo ali. Ah! Tô errando muito, dá licença. Deixa eu ler o que você falou. Sistema de jogo, interação, personagem. Ah, o Fallout. Você não vai acreditar que eu nunca joguei Fallout. Fatiou legal, hein? Ó o mundão. Não, pior que esse jogo aqui. Esse jogo aqui também tá com um cara que tem que ter tempo, né, velho?
Whoa, hey, where'd you come from? Don't go ambling out in those hills. That's marauder territory, friend. Your pod? What are you on about? You take a bruise to the cranium? Ain't safe out here. You'd best head into town. Avail yourself of Edgewater's high walls and low prices.
Meu nome é Mr. Hunger.
I'm being vigilant. Don't want to get blindsided by some corpse-chewing marauder come stalking out the shadows. Pleased to make your acquaintanceship. I'd shake your hand, but I've been hauling corpses. You don't want none of that on you. Name's Silas. Junior in humor for the town of Edgewater. We're all part of the Spacer's Choice family. Got a knack for being discreet-like? There's money to be made, long as you keep your nose clean. Edgewater is a company town, board-owned and operated. That includes the cemetery. None of us own our grave sites, we rent them from the company. Renting means money. Money means paperwork. Paperwork means signatures. Some of our families become a mite delinquent in paying their dues, you see? 4 workers still haven't paid up. Phyllis, Conrad, Ludwig,
Já
Martin
abriu 4 bagulho já.
He's a special case. You may want to twist his arm a little. Conrad's got a barbershop in town. Phyllis works at the cannery most hours. Abernathy... I ain't seen him in a few days. His domicile is near the cannery. You'll find him in town. All except Ludwig, that is. He's over by the landing pad. He just is. Look, I don't want to get into it. Just make sure he pays up. Yeah?
Pior que eu ia fazer a outra pergunta.
You could look at it that way, I suppose. You could look at us and say, those Edgewater saps lost near every soul to plague. But you'd be wrong. We're survivors. Loyal company folk, braving the wilds.
Beats working at the cannery.
Beats working at the cannery.
Ah, o disco, mano, é o triângulo. Se segurar o triângulo, abre a roda de disco. A roda de arma, mano, estranho, né? Não é muito prático. Exatamente. Bom, vamos lá, velho. Essa portinha parece que abre. Tá difícil abrir as coisas, hein? Quando a vida te der demais, considere isso uma amostra grátis dos seus amigos aviões espaciais. Bem-vindo. Meu, falar que o cara tá no 13F, será que vai ter alguma coisa lá? Se é que dá pra achar. Né? Essas coisas de jogo. Eu pego e depois eu desmonto. Depois eu desmonto tudo pra ganhar. Caminhar sob os arcos abovedados de Bizâncio. Bom, aqui não rola. Só acho estranho andar apontando a arma, sabe, o tempo inteiro. Tinha que ter assim, tipo, né? Ai, vamos lá. Achei um beco aqui, deixa eu dar uma olhada nele. Não, ele troca, ó. Aí aquela hora eu segurei o triângulo pra isso. Deixa eu ver se... Olha lá. Aquela hora eu até segurei o triângulo pra ver se ele... Se ele guardava, né? É estranho. Eu vi esses cantinhos, se dá pra andar, o Femora vai ter item, né?
Spacer's choice takes care of its own. Keep your distance, friend. Sick house is no place for a traveler.
I appreciate the company and all, but you really ought to leave. You don't want to be seen around me. Because I'm sick. You don't want to associate with people in the sick house. We're not worth your time. I'm in about as much trouble as I can be. No reason you ought to be tarnished by association. People are gonna talk. The walls talk, is all. We all got sights on each other. Any of us breaks company protocol, boss is gonna hear about it from 6 different mouths. Maybe you don't know this, but there's a real simple reason you don't talk to the plagued. You don't want what we've got.
Você virou médico agora.
Don't. Please. I could get into a lot of trouble. Afraid I do. Don't sit right with me is all. Good for nothing like me getting special treatment from some fancy outsider. Company always tells us weak spirits lead to weak bodies. If I didn't want to fall sick with plague, maybe I should have worked harder. Maybe I should have taken more pride in my work. I really wish you wouldn't say those sorts of things. I told you once already. People could be listening. I'm feeling a touch faint. If you don't mind, I'd like to be alone for a spell.
At least I paid my gravesite fees.
Uma torreta. Deu problema, hein? Qual é a treta, moça? Espero que não seja comigo.
Had your rations yet?
Yep. 2 whole cans of salt tuna.
Tipo GTA. Vou roubar na ficha do cara.
Please don't touch anything. Your hands are probably crawling with germs.
Sua cara, velho, tá tudo
Physical
sujo.
hygiene recapitulates moral hygiene. Cleanliness is next to lawfulness. No, thank you. That's quite all right. I've seen enough body parts in my line of work. I'm Conrad. You will report to me if your hair fails to meet Spacer's Choice aesthetic standards. You will also report to me in the event of your death, whereupon I will clean and prepare your remains for interment. Ah, gravesite fees. Silas and I had talked about this at length. I thought I'd made it clear my pecuniary situation precludes the necessary restitutions. As broke as pie crust, friend. Bidless, indigent, destitute. I simply cannot afford it. I am a blemish on the prosperity of our fair settlement. When I expire, I expect Silas to toss my body into a ditch. Thank you, no. I despise the cereals. Tell Silas I can't afford to pay. And that I fully expect to have my medical rights revoked for this dereliction. With my apologies. Not a bad idea. But I'd need some kind of collateral. My pair of lucky clippers. No, that won't do. Your idea intrigues me, but I'm afraid I don't have anything to give Silas. I'm open to suggestions. Much obliged. I don't have time for this.
É bom pra ir entendendo como é que funciona, né? Você não pode sair pilhando igual se faz no normal, né? Olha lá. Oh, mas como eu erro o tiro, velho. Mas o que eu vou fazer? O cara começou a atirar em mim. Ferrou, se baguncei tudo aqui, velho. É interessante que tem mesmo, não é igual o jogo que você entra e pilha qualquer coisa, né? Interessante. E eu baguncei tudo. Eu vou fazer como? Sem matando todos os moradores que tem aqui? Bizarro, né? A sensibilidade tá punk. Como é que vai parar isso? Vou morrer, vou morrer. Vou morrer. Olha, fim de jogo, velho. Fim de jogo. The Game Over. Pronto, não vou nem roubar os negócios.
What can I do for you?
Agora eu já sei.
A ship? Dear me. You seem to have lost the ability to distinguish between reality and fantasy. This is what happens when you let your imagination run wild. I don't approve of fantasizing. It's a dreadful habit, corrosive to the mental faculties. You ought to let the vicar take a look inside your head.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead.
Ué?
Edgewater has been good to me. I consider myself privileged to
Será
work
que
here.
já pegou a parte da
I
conversa?
am never wanting for work, not since the plague started.
Da cobrança?
The plague's come at us with a vengeance this year. Lost 6 workers in as many months. I wouldn't call them good workers, mind you. If they were any good, they'd have been treated. Still, it is a shame. Company policy, friend. We don't have enough medicine to treat all of us, so we treat the best among us. We're a sensible people.
Acho que a conversa com ele já... É, tudo é roubar, né? Tudo vermelho, roubar, não roubar nada. Uma treta generalizada. Cantina.
You read the latest report?
Only the part that said we ain't making our quotas.
Hey, if only McDevitt's folk hadn't abandoned us, Cannery could use those extra hands.
Roubar suco é fogo.
Nothing we can do about that.
Yeah, there is.
I don't know you.
Não mesmo. Meu nome é Mr. Hunger.
We don't welcome trouble. I don't know what you're about, but this here's a Spacer's Choice drinking establishment. We're all loyal, hard-working company folk here. You really think so? That's kind of you. I've been trying to keep the floors clean. You got no idea how long it takes to scrub the tiles. Guess I misreckoned you.
Corrigir.
Sorry about that. I didn't mean to be curt. We just got some
Consegui
problems
consertar a
lately.
primeira impressão.
I can get you a drink if you'd like.
Olha.
Gotta ask you to enjoy your beverage within the premises, though. Can't risk you bringing a drink over to those deserters. You understand. Coming right up.
Dá pra vender, vamos vender uma pá. Será que eu preciso de pá? Olha, para escavações, ó, para cortes de escavações. Para desenterrar o cara lá, vou deixar essa daqui. E eu apontando a arma pra pessoa.
Never seen you here before. You a visitor? Welcome. On behalf of the Spacer's Choice family, let me welcome you to where am I again? Edgewater. jewel of the Vale. May the law bless our beloved cannery with 100 years of, what's it called? Productivity. That's the one. Yep, that's us. Productive.
Just gotta keep our heads up.
Hmm?
Sorry, I've got...
I don't have time for this.
Não sei se eu posso entrar nos lugares assim. Nem na lixeira. Tudo é roubado. É, eu tô pensando em ir naquele que tava no papel lá do cara. Mano, eu tô fuçando aqui tudo, velho. Tô entrando. Agora eu quero tirar uma dúvida. Se não tem ninguém olhando. Ó, eu vou roubar. Tá, se não tem ninguém vendo, então não pega nada. Ali o problema era que eu tava na frente do cara. Porque ó, tem coisas aqui interessantes. Ninguém viu. E não pode. Aqui precisa dos negócios. General Store. Tô fuçando, né? Primeira vez. Tô ganhando XP só por encontrar os lugares. E aí, amigo?
It's not the best choice, it's Spacer's choice. And before you ask, I'm all out of deluxe salt tuna. All I've got is gourmet. You ought to go have a talk with the boss, Reed Thompson. He's up in his tower above the cannery. Go right ahead.
Esses becos assim, ó. Aí, ó. Tem cara de ter coisa. Por enquanto eu pego tudo, depois eu fuço com calma.
Something got you down?
Nothing, just don't want to fall sick.
Sorry, I'll just be...
É grande aqui, né?
Hey, you hear about Wilson?
Heard marauders on it.
Miojo, mano. Peguei o miojão. Bom, deixa eu ir lá. Opa, peraí. Eu achei modificação mesmo. Ah, não foi daqui então. Ah, foi daqui, ó. Etapas. Ligue, tente, chute, xingue. Tem que ser. Tente de novo. Alguém olhando? Não, relaxa, velho. Eu já tô quase parando aqui, ó. Eu só queria jogar por 1 hora pra fazer aquela live de 1 hora, né? Pra entender como é que é o jogo. Já deu, assim, esse jogo na verdade em 1 hora não dá pra sacar muito dele, né, mano? É muito comecinho, né? Não dá pra você saber pra onde vai andar, não começou exatamente o jogo ainda, né, velho? Tipo de jogo que você precisa jogar mais tempo, né? Mas eu só queria fazer a live de 1 hora, mas cara, tá bonito o jogo, hein, velho? Dá pra perceber que ele é bem focado em diálogo e tal. Que é RPGzão mesmo, né? As coisas que você fala elas podem te atrapalhar ou te ajudar, né? Mas não é um joguinho que dá pra ser 1 hora só e pronto.
Sorry, Mr. Thompson, sir. You asked why it's taking so long to fix. The answer's technically...
Don't apologize. Just try using small words for me.
Mas, mano, valeu. Valeu por ter acompanhado lá no Bramble.
Seems we've got a guest. Really now, Parvati, I do wish you'd spoken up. I do apologize. I was given no forewarning of your arrival, or I might have welcomed you at the gates myself. I'm Reed Thompson, Outpost Administrator. I cannot help but notice you are not in uniform. Of course not. I don't have that kind of luck. Seems I allowed my excitement to run away with my wits. Been a few seasons since we've had a visitor pass through.
Only regulator we got is hooked up to the town.
Valeu, maninho, pra você também.
Mr. Thompson ain't
Bom
liable to
descanso
be
aí.
dismantling it.
Daqui a pouco
I
tô
beg your
parando também.
pardon. I am most emphatically not keen on any such thing. I can't let you have our power regulator. But I happen to know of another one. And I happen to know exactly how you may retrieve it without frying yourself in the process. My proposition benefits the both of us. Please, hear me out. There's a power regulator in the old botanical lab. It's mostly abandoned, so all that power is being squandered. Go down to the geothermal plant.
Reroute power from the Botanical District over to us. Once their power's shut down, you can have their regulator and be along on your way. The geothermal plant was built by our owners, Spacer's Choice. Lit up the whole Vale once upon a time. Most of the Vale is now abandoned. All that power is going to waste. We could use the power. Cannery's been struggling. If we don't ramp up productivity, the company might cut us loose. I was not entirely sure how to tell you this. The botanical labs are not legally inhabited, but there are people who live there. The people living in the botanical labs, they're deserters, former workers. I need them back at their posts. I need them to come home. My hope is that by cutting off their power, you will convince those deserters to come back to town. Before you go to the plant, I want you to stop by the botanical lab. Speak to their leader, Adelaide. Tell her the power's about to go, and that it's time her band of deserters came back to town. Adelaide's older than the other deserters. She's dignified, kindly. From what I understand, her camp looks to her for leadership. That is not a hypothetical I enjoy entertaining. We need Adelaide back. Nonetheless, I will settle for the return of her followers. We belong to one community, the Spacer's Choice family. If we dissolve into factions, then we will all perish separately. Adelaide will understand that.
Certo.
My dad told me all about the plant. Taught me all he knew. I could come in useful. I mean, if that's all right with you, Mr. Thompson. Sir.
I hesitate to part ways with Miss Holcomb, but I cannot deny that she is talented and may prove useful to you. You will need an administrative passcode in order to enter the plant. I am trusting you with mine, and trusting Miss Holcomb to guide you if you like.
Great! I got my wrenches and diagnosticators and hairpins and engine tape, so I'm all set.
Well, I am glad to hear that. Best of luck to you, and thank you again for your help. It is a lot to ask of a stranger, I know.
We better clear out of Mr. Thompson's office before we talk.
Okay.
We better clear out of Mr. Thompson's office before we talk. Hey, mister, can we talk? Sorry. You got a minute? Sorry. You just want to get out of here. And you likely don't want to tag along like me. It's just, Mr. Thompson has his own view on matters, on account of it's his job and what all, but that's not the only side of the tale. To Mr. Thompson, a person's a gear. It does its job quiet-like. If it squeaks or stutters, it gets replaced. The deserters are decent folk. I knew some of them before they left. Miss McDevitt? Oh, gosh, no. She was a real important person. A flavorist. Made all the food taste decent. She used to work up in the big office with Mr. Thompson. All I know is she left after her son died. It was a real big to-do. I could hear them both yelling clear from my own place. Can't say as I know. I wasn't there. The sound carried, but not the words. If Mr. Thompson ain't of a mind to tell you his own self, you'd best ask Miss McDevitt, if he can get out to her. Mr. Thompson's aiming to take away their power. They'll have no lights to see, nor heat to cook. They'll be at the mercy of marauders, or worse. It don't seem right to me, mister. I think you should talk to the town's vicar about it. Max, his name is. Thanks, mister. I just think when you gotta make a decision that'll hurt somebody, it's best to think on the right and wrong of it. That's what my dad used to say anyways.
Eu vou finalizar por aqui, que o jogo é longo, né? Vai ser hoje que eu vou resolver, mas já deu pra entender um pouco. Vamos até o vigário ali pra mim, né? Ele tá lá dentro.
I've always felt weird in here. It's too clean.
Yes, what is it? You're an outsider. Fantastic. Vicar Maximilian de Soto at your service. Or Vicar Max, if you're the sort who prefers brevity. And Ms. Holcomb as well. How rare to see you out. And with a complete stranger. Curious.
Just tagging along, Vicar de Soto. Don't mind me.
I so rarely get new people to talk to. Name your poison, anything at all. Spiritual counseling, this season's tossball predictions, the quickest way out of town.
What? I thought you would talk to him.
You wanted to speak to me, Ms. Holcomb? Every time I've tried to engage you in conversation, you look at the floor, answer in single words, and slink away. I can't imagine what would be so grave as to drive her to my mission. What has Mr. Thompson asked you to do? Depriving them of safety from the marauders and wildlife. I can see why that troubles you. Miss Holcomb has a soft heart. Always has, if you believe the talk. They rejected the order of society and live beyond the walls so thoughtfully provided by our Spacer's Choice patrons. Does that strike you as a responsible life choice?
Não tem o suficiente.
Assuming your goal is to save as many as possible, then you should bring everyone together. Send the power to Edgewater and convince the deserters to return to the fold. Not if things are left to stand as they are. If you don't mind a bit of unsolicited advice, be cautious on your way to the geothermal plant. It is not as safe as you might assume. One of the reasons I transferred here was to fulfill my duty in hunting down banned heretical texts. I happen to know such a book is, as we speak, tainting a collector's library in Emerald Vale. However, the collector's residence lies outside the town's walls. My retrieval efforts have been thwarted by marauders who have overrun the property. Should you fare better than me, I'd pay a handsome sum for the book.
Tô acumulando tarefas, né?
It's a handwritten journal. A faded blue cover with the name M. Bakonu handwritten in the lower corner. I'll mark where I saw it on your map. Assuming you're serious? Thank you. If you retrieve it, you can always find me here.
Só acumulando tarefa.
Something you need? That's on account of how I never met her. It's hard to miss what you never knew. I don't ponder it over much. She was in another division of the Spacer's Choice family. She worked in the Vale a few months, sorting the cannery computers. The contract said any kids she had, expected or not, belonged to her office from the time of conception. So when I was born, I got sent here.
Então tá certo.
Well, I don't know about normal. Dad said she worked under some kind of special contract. It's sensible. Dad just fixed machines. She did some kind of crazy math, high-level stuff. Better to raise me on his time than hers. You mean about the mission being too clean? I know, but Vicker says the universe is a machine, that it runs by law. Real machines have gunked up oil, scratches, and worn bits. You can tell they've seen handling, been used by folk. The machine Vicker sees is one ain't never been run. It's not for people to live in. It's something on a museum shelf, under glass. Fixing the universe is a job for somebody way better than the likes of me.
Sim.
Hey there, Mary. Don't see you around here too often.
Oh, I just came to talk to the vicar is all. None of us are above confessionals.
Our place in the universe is fixed.
No problem. I'll head over. When I was little, we'd get freighters in every Sunday noon. Now they only come but once a month. I love the wind here.
You're some sort of freelancer?
I'm going. Yep, be right over.
Isso aí. fui ver o que acontecia. Isso aí. Bora. Valeu. Boa noite.